The Subaru Forester is one of the most popular compact SUVs here in America, and for 2025, it's been fully redesigned. We're actually out here in beautiful Missoula, Montana for the first drive event, and Subaru was gracious enough to have 4 out of the 5 trim levels here for us to test. So in this video, we're actually gonna give you guys a detailed tour and talk about pricing of the Subaru Forester Premium, Sport, Limited, and of course the top of the line touring grade. At the end of the review, hopefully you guys have the information you need so you can figure out which trim works best for you. So there is one trim level missing here from this lineup, and that is the Forester base trim. As you can see, Rob is trying to show off nothing because Subaru says that the base trim only accounts for about 5% of sales. Most people tend to buy this trim here, which is the premium model. The base trim starts at around $29,700. This model here starts at around $31,995. But I'll talk about the final pricing once we talk about the exterior. But getting inside, you can see the premium trim being the volume. Now, Subaru had mentioned a number for the actual take rate. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's around 30, maybe 40%. But you can see this particular example, crimson red exterior. It's got the gray cloth interior. The one thing I'm really liking, however, it includes a 10-way power driver's seat. That's actually standard equipment when you guys go for this trim. Looking at the door panels, you can see it has a soft touch injection molded plastic. There's some nice gray cloth fabric trim on the door panels. It's also slightly padded over here with the stitching. You have one touch up down for the front windows, but not for the rear. And then looking at the rest of the dash, you can see you get a leather wrapped steering wheel, no heated steering wheel. You still have a manual tilt telescoping area, which is nice. You have some faux stitching here. You have more of that textured look here on the dash with the faux stitching. It's soft touch over here. And then you can see in terms of the technology in this car, this is the trim that you want to get at least if you want the bigger infotainment system. So the premium up trims will include the 11.6-inch touchscreen here, which includes wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get 3-level heated seats, which is a nice touch. You also get dual zone temperature control. Subaru actually says dual zone automatic temperature control is standard even on the base trim level. You get a backup camera with this model, obviously. Where it includes some trajectory and distance markers. But overall, with the wireless phone charging pad, this represents the value-oriented model. You can also see above me, there's a big panoramic sunroof, which I really wish the glass was a little more tinted, but it really just makes for a great first impression. The cabin feels open and airy. It has some great technology. It has comfortable seats. It even has some unexpected features like the heated seats and the power driver's seat, along with the bigger infotainment display. I want to also show you guys really quickly the back seat, because you can see there's what the cloth back seats look like. You also have rear seat air vents back there and 2 USB ports, an A and a C, but it is lacking the heated back seats that you'll find that I'll show you guys later on the touring grade. Now, in terms of the styling on the outside, you can see the one thing about the premium trim, remember, this is one up from the base. It includes, even the base includes the raised roof rails. Subaru says that every version of the Forester has the roof rails because that's what customers tend to want to do, is put stuff on the roof. You also have these 18-inch alloy wheels. These are actually the same wheels that you get on the base trim. You can see they're wrapped in a Yokohama Geolandar tire on a 225 by 60 R17. I'm sorry, this is a 17-inch wheel, so that's slightly a little bit smaller. But remember, this is the standard wheel that you get with the premium trim. And then if you want to follow me over to the front fascia, you can see the styling of the vehicle is definitely, very different versus the previous generation Forester. You can see the front fascia, all of them come with standard with the steering adaptive LED headlights. You can see it's an LED low and high beam. You don't have, however, is an LED turn signal. So you can see the turn signal is incandescent. This is an LED daytime running light. The grille kind of has like some gray accents here. The hexagonal grille has just gotten larger. It also kind of integrates nicely into the headlights to kind of create a shield effect. But because even though this is the premium, you can see it still includes LED fog lights. So that's kind of a nice touch, because if you guys look at some of the competitors, some rivals don't even offer LED fog lights or fog lights in general. You also still have the eyesight system. So the eyesight cameras there have a new third camera there in the middle to improve the accuracy and just the function and how it works when you guys are using the advanced driver assistance tech. And then in terms of pricing, I mentioned earlier, $31,995 for this trim. This particular one here has an option for $1,200, which includes the blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert and braking and the power liftgate. All in with destination, this one is around $34,595, so just under $35,000. That's still kind of a screaming deal, but remember, this one has a couple of options on it, so it's not exactly the full base model. But moving over to the sport trim, let me go ahead and show you guys the differences on the inside before we show you the exterior. You can see, getting inside, the door panel of this model has the same materials. There's kind of like a fabric and StarTex material that's lining the door panels, same padded area over here. This particular one has the optional Harman Kardon 11 speaker premium sound. That's part of a $1,600 option package. But the biggest difference when you're inside the sport trim is the seat material. So previous generation sports had the cloth material. However, Subaru owners really love the StarTex material from the Wilderness. So they actually have placed it here in the sport. So this is the weatherproof or waterproof material. It's kind of like a fake leather material that's very durable. It resists water. Obviously, that's why it's called water repellent. It's called StarTex. These are also 3-level heated seats, which is nice. You also get the 10-way power driver seat with adjustable lumbar. No memory seat function. You do also have a pretty similar steering wheel. You can see when I turn the vehicle on, you can hear all of them have the same 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. I'll talk about that a little bit more later on the outside. But you can see the Sport does include paddle shifters, which is nice. You also have a new Sport Sharp drive mode here to basically give you even sportier or quicker throttle response and different calibration for the transmission. In terms of the dashboard, you can see there's some contrasting stitching here that's a little bit different versus the premium trim. They have the same infotainment display at 11.6 inches and the same instrument panel with the kind of combination of analog and digital. You still get a wireless phone charging pad. You still get a sunroof that opens up to vent air, which is nice. You also have LED map lighting here, which the premium also had. But overall, the interior still feels pretty much the same, but a lot of people, if they want the durable, StarTex material, this is the only trim for now to actually get that. Let me show you guys the back seat really quick. Again, the same 39.4 inches of legroom. You still have the rear seat air vents, the 2 USB charging ports. And again, that material is great for those of you who want to put like your dog in there, for example, or if you want to get the interior a little bit muddy, the StarTex is going to have you covered. Now, looking at the styling of the sport trim, you can see this particular one here is painted in crystal white. It definitely looks interesting with the bronze wheels. So you can see this trim is what rolls in the 19-inch wheels. It's riding on a 235 by 50 R19 Bridgestone all-season tires. So the wheels are a little bit wider. You have a bigger wheel as well. The bronze is definitely unique to this trim. I think that it certainly looks good depending on the color combination. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys like the way the bronze trim looks. The side view mirror you can see here is gloss black painted. On the premium, it was actually a gloss gray painted. It also lacked the integrated turn signals. So that's kind of something to keep in mind. Instead of the raised roof rails on the Sport, you actually get the low profile black painted roof rails to kind of give it more of a street look, makes it look a little bit sleeker as opposed to more crossover like. But again, you still get the roof rails, which is a nice touch. All of them have the 8.7 inches of ground clearance, of course, even this trim over here. And then looking at the front fascia, you can see things are slightly different here. First of all, it does have the same headlights as the premium, so you can see it's just an incandescent turn signal, but you do have the steering adaptive full LED low and high beams, LED daytime running lights, and you also have LED fog lights. Down here, it's a little dirty, but this is actually the same bronze color finish that you find on the wheels as opposed to the non-painted area there on the premium. We'll talk about the differences on the limited and touring in just a second. The grille also gets kind of like a gloss black finish, which I think also kind of looks good with the crystal white exterior. The Subaru EyeSight with the 3 cameras also comes standard as well. No hood scoop, obviously. It would have been nice to kind of give the Sport trim a hood scoop, but Subaru only associates the hood scoop if you guys have a turbocharged engine, which sadly Subaru still does not offer. Now this one here, pricing is around $34,590. With the $1,600 for the Harman Kardon stereo and the emergency braking, this one here comes to around $37,500 with destination. So it's a good $3,000 more versus the premium. Kind of worth it if you guys, like the StarTex interior, you like the bigger 19-inch wheels and some of the styling details that you get with the Sport trim. Now moving on here, let's take a look at the Limited trim. Now I actually think the Limited is also a really great deal. I don't know what the take rate is for the Limited, but this is one notch below the Touring trim. And let's go ahead and show you guys the interior really quickly first so I can kind of stay on track. Now, first of all, this one is the autumn green exterior with the black leather interior. Subaru also offers a gray leather interior. So if you want leather, this is the trim that's going to roll in the leather. You also have 3-level heated seats. I have a 10-way power driver seat. I also get an 8-way power passenger seat. So this is the trim that's going to roll in that 8-way power. You still don't get memory seats, however. But in terms of the rest of the interior, you can see it looks pretty identical to the other trim levels. So you have that kind of same textured look on the dash where it's soft touch with the contrast blue stitching. You still have the 11.6-inch touchscreen display with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, which is a nice touch. And you also still get a backup camera here with rear automatic braking. That's part of an option package, trajectory, parking sensors, all that stuff is included. This trim also rolls in a heated steering wheel. So if you want a heated steering wheel, you have to go for this trim and up. You still get the paddle shifters here from the Sport trim level. That's the trim that first gave you the paddle shifters. And then, as you can see, everything else looks pretty much the same. The mirror here, however, is not auto dimming. If you want that, I believe it's a dealer accessory. You still have LED map lights here, and then you can see the sunroof. That's standard when you go for the premium trim and up. So again, it lets in a lot of light into this cabin, which is a nice touch. Looking at the back seat, just want to show you guys that real quick. You can see the black leather carries over. You still have contrast blue stitching. There's an armrest that folds down. You can see this area here on the cup holders. I'll show you guys the difference. It's actually just kind of covered in like just a black plastic unfinished look for the cup holders. You have rear seat air vents, USB charging ports, but again, there's 2 blank buttons here, which I'll show you guys is a little different on the touring grade. But let me show you guys, let me talk about the exterior styling changes slightly for this trim here. The limited trim is kind of interesting because it kind of diverts back to some of the stuff that the premium has. So you can see it has the raised roof rails that gives you, I guess, better usage if you want to put stuff up there. The side mirrors go back to a gloss gray finish. They also have an integrated turn signal as well. You also go back to a smaller wheel versus the Sport trim. Now, this is an 18-inch wheel, so it's technically an inch bigger versus the 17-inch wheel on the premium. It's riding on a 225 by 55 R18. These are a Falcon Zeek all-season tire. Still have 8.7 inches of ground clearance. You still have unpainted cladding around the vehicle, although I'm really happy how Subaru was a little more restrained with the cladding for the new Forester. And then following me over to the front fascia, you can see the front end kind of goes back again to some of the stuff on the premium trim. So you have a gray accented here for the hexagonal grille. The headlights, however, you can see are slightly different. These are still the same full LED or steering adaptive LED headlights, but you can see the turn signal is now an LED as opposed to the incandescent on the lower trims. You have LED fog lights down here, and then you can see there's a gloss gray accent on the lower front splitter, which matches the gloss gray here on the grille. The base trim doesn't actually have the gloss gray accents, so again, that's something to keep in mind. And this autumn green color is definitely one of my favorite Subaru colors. It kind of just looks really good on this trim. Now, in terms of pricing, this trim here starts at around $37,000. I'm sorry, it's compared to that trim, it's around $1,500 more, so you're around $36,000. This one here has an option package that rolls in the Harman Kardon stereo. So with options and destination, this one's around $38,500 or $38,900, I'm sorry, versus $37,500 for that trim. So $1,500 is kind of not that much money considering some of the extra stuff that you get with the limited trim. So that might be a reason to choose the limited over the Sport trim. Now, finally, let's go ahead and move on to the touring grade of this car. Now, let's start first with the interior. This particular one that we're showing you is the new color. It's called River Rock Canyon. It's a new like gray finish color that they introduced for 2025. And then this model here has the black leather interior. The touring grade also offers a brown interior. Now, compared to the leather on the limited trim, you get leather and you also get suede Alcantara. So this is the only trim to get the suede accents with the contrast copper stitching as opposed to the blue stitching. And then starting the vehicle up, I wanted to show you guys a couple things. First of all, the seats here are the same power adjustment, so 10-way and 8-way. However, this is the trim that rolls in the 2-person memory seats over here, which is a nice touch. And you also have the same kind of window switches over here, same soft touch materials with the contrasting stitching. You also get the standard Harman Kardon stereo. That stereo is optional on the Sport and on the limited trim, so the touring kind of gives that to you as standard. The steering wheel you can see is kind of the same. You still have the heated steering wheel. You still have the same sport and intelligent drive modes here, along with the manual tilt and telescoping adjustments. The screen is also the same. You have the wireless Apple CarPlay 11.6-inch display. However, the difference here is when I push this button and pull up the view mode, you can see it kind of gives you an aerial scan of what's around the vehicle, because this is the first Subaru Forester trim to get a full 360 digital camera system. So that's exclusive to the touring grade. That's something to get if you guys really want that feature. And this trim also has heated and ventilated seats. So this is also the first time Subaru is offering ventilated seats on a Forester, which is also a great touch. You can also see there's some really interesting upscale looking metallic bronze alloy look trim here on the dash that matches really nicely with the contrasting stitching. You still got the wireless phone charging pad, and this area here pretty much looks the same. Although if you look above me here, you can see the sunroof hasn't really changed. Headroom space is plentiful. And overall, you definitely get more of a luxury car feel, but really it's the upgrade in the tech department that Subaru really prefers. The rearview mirror here is also different because it's auto dimming, but this is also the only trim to give you the fully digital camera style rearview mirror. So that's a great feature to have if you guys plan to put stuff up to the roof, or if you can't see out of the back because you have tall passengers. This is exclusive to the touring grade. I'm not entirely sure if Subaru will offer it as an accessory. We'll have to wait until this vehicle eventually shows up at dealerships. Let me show you guys the back seat really quick, so you can see the space difference. You'll have to excuse some of the stuff we have back here, but you can see the seats have the same kind of Alcantara and suede accent material. The seats back here also are really nice in terms of the look with the copper accent stitching. And then if you look over here on the center stack, you can see this is the only trim to give you heated rear seats. So you get 2-level heated rear seats, you have the USB charging ports, you got the outlets, or you have the rear seat air vents, and overall this is again one of the bigger back seats in the segment. But let's go ahead and talk about the exterior styling changes before we on the touring grade, before we kind of wrap this video up. Now, I mentioned earlier this color is called River Rock Canyon Pearl, and you can see the touring grade, for the first time, it actually has 19-inch wheels. So the wheels you can see are kind of a variation of the 19-inch wheels that you get on the sport trim. However, they have like a two-tone finish to them. So you have the gloss gray with the machine look. It's on a Bridgestone all-season tire. It's on a 235 by 50 R19. So again, if you want the 19-inch wheels, you want this trim, or you want the sport trim level, you can see the River Rock Canyon Pearl, I think, also looks really nice with this exterior color. You have these gloss black side mirrors, although Subaru used to put a metallic finish on the side mirrors on the touring. So I kind of wish that they would have gone back to that. I think it would have looked a little better versus the black. You still have the integrated turn signals. No power folding mirrors, though. I would have preferred for them to do the power folding mirrors. You can see the roof rails also have gone back to the low profile gloss black as opposed to the raised roof rails. I actually think the car actually looks better with the raised roof rails. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys prefer. And then in terms of the fuel efficiency, this is where I also want to mention the all the vehicles come standard with a 2.5 liter or 2.5 liter boxer flat four with direct injection. But if you guys go for the 19-inch wheels, it actually drops the fuel economy to 25 in the city and 32 on the highway versus 26, 33 if you guys go for the 17 or the 18-inch wheels. I want to also briefly talk about the styling changes for the touring. You can see you go back to the gloss black accents here on the touring grade. You also have the upgraded LED headlights with the LED daytime running light and turn signal. You also have kind of a gloss black here on this little lower front splitter, and you also get LED fog lights. But overall, you can see the styling changes are pretty subtle, and if you want to talk about pricing with this model, this is where things get a little expensive for the touring grade. So I mentioned earlier, that one's around 32 grand, that's around 35 grand, this is around $38,000. This trim here starts at $39,995. Plus destination, this model here comes in around $41,390. So again, this is the most expensive version of the Subaru Forester family. It's about $2,500 more versus a limited trim like this that has the option for the Harman Kardon stereo and the automatic emergency braking. Now, for that extra $2,500, Subaru essentially gives you ventilated seats, 360 camera, digital camera rearview mirror, the standard Harman Kardon stereo, heated back seats. It's a lot of content for an additional $2,500. So I think that for those of you who are looking for the most luxurious and ultimate Forester, you probably want to check out this one. But Subaru again offers such a wide price gap from like under $30,000 for the base to just over $40,000 here for the touring grade. But hopefully this video helps you guys decide which Forester trim is right for you. If you guys are looking to get your hands on this vehicle, Subaru says that production begins, production has begun this month. You're gonna have to wait, however, until probably end of May for them to start showing up at your local Subaru dealerships. And if you guys are wondering about a hybrid, Subaru says that it's coming, but they didn't have any more additional details for us. You're gonna have to wait about a year after the gas-only version goes on sale to talk about the hybrid. They also said they're also working on a new Wilderness trim. They weren't quite ready to talk about when the Wilderness trim is gonna come out. But overall, if you guys are looking for or waiting for the new redesigned 2025 Forester, let me know in the comment section below if you guys would prefer the premium, the sport, the limited, or the touring. For me personally, I love everything that the touring includes, but I know everyone out there kind of has their own needs for budget and for technology. But with all that said, hope you guys have enjoyed my very detailed overview of the 4 Subaru Forester trims. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.